I'm T Styles, your best friend in a handbag, and we're going to get right into it. We're going to talk about how to end a friendship. Real quick, if you're just meeting me, I am T Styles. I'm a writer. I'm in my upper age, which means that I have a lot of experience. I don't care if you're black, white, or whatever. I do believe what I'll be talking about today applies to all friendships because we're talking about dealing with people. I just want you to know that my videos will be unedited, in that I'm not going to be cutting out any words, because when you're dealing with best friends, conversations and whatnot aren't edited. So I'm not even going to play them games. It'll just be me talking to you from the heart. Okay. So let's talk about how to end a friendship. Number one, how to end a friendship. You have to determine the reason you're ending the friendship. I mean, is it a misunderstanding? Is it really worth letting go? Did you give your friend a chance to correct the issue? The reason why I want you to think about that first is because a lot of times when we're talking about ending friendships, we're talking about ending friendships based on an incident. And I want you to know that when we're building real bonds and when we're building solid relationships, that can only come by these bumps in the road, because you'll know when you've had a friend for a long time that, damn, we dealt with this before and we overcame it. We dealt with that before and we overcame it. So before you decide to end this friendship, make sure that it's worth ending. Make sure that you've given your friend or the person in your life a chance to correct the mistake. The second thing I want you to think about is, are you letting your ego destroy a good bond? Sometimes we get in our feelings. For instance, let's say if somebody slighted us by not inviting us somewhere, or if we believe that when we're out, our friend acted a certain way that hurt our feelings. It could be a number of things, but make sure you aren't letting your friendship go based on your ego. There are so many relationships that are destroyed based on that. And it's really sad because, again, just like what I said earlier, that sometimes if we are able to get out of our own way and we overcome these bumps in the road, you'll realize that you have a friend worth fighting for. You know what I mean? So don't let your ego or your feelings get in the way. It takes some getting used to, but I really challenge you to start looking at your own emotions and asking yourself, okay, am I doing the most? Am I about to end a friendship over foolery? So this is what I want you to think of. If you've answered the question and you say, nah, T, I want so-and-so out of my life, I'm done, then okay, let's talk about some ways to do that. I say it's 3 ways to do it. I don't play any games with any other ways, so it's 3 ways to do it. Number one, it's the gradual way. If this friend has been around for a while and you have other friends in the mix, this may be better to do it this way, because a lot of times when you got other friends in the situation, it can be uncomfortable if they know 2 people aren't talking. So a gradual friendship, or gradual release rather, where you don't always show up with this person anymore. Or if someone asks you about it and you say, I don't know, maybe you should call them yourself. Those are the kind of things that you can do to help facilitate a gradual breakup. And to me, it's easier if you do it this way, because you aren't severing a friendship that may quite possibly, I know you feel like you want this friendship to be over forever, but that may quite possibly resume itself. I myself have had relationships where I have, stopped talking to people for years down the line, and then only for them to resurface at this part of my life, and we're really good friends. So do this if you aren't really sure. So what do you do with your friend? I mean, how does she take the graduate relationship, or the gradual ending, or he? One of the things that you can do is not being always accessible. With our best friends, we tend to be always accessible. So with a gradual breakup, you're not going to answer the phone all the time. You're not going to always be there for the text message. You'll respond with things like, I'm busy, I'll call you if I can, or short responses. So before, when you and your best friend go at it, it's blocks of messages, like over little things. Girl, I just saw this guy in the street, and why he looked like your ex-boyfriend. Girl, what? That's so funny. Back in the day, I had was thinking about him the other day, and the fact that you said it, and we give all that. With a gradual friendship release, you're not doing that. oh, that's funny. And she'll know in her heart, okay, something is off. Now, are you going to give her more information? That's going to be for you to decide, and that may end up going into another area that we're going to talk about. But the first thing is the gradual release, not being always accessible so that you can handle it, and if you have friends in the mix, they can handle it too. Number 2, the talk. Now, if you are the kind of person that gives the talk, let's say, look, girl, we got to have a conversation. I ain't feeling it no more. I'm not feeling you no more. We just ain't vibing. We growing apart. Then you're probably not going to look at this video, because the talkers, which is the kind of person I am, if I have made sure that all my other options are gone, then I'm going to have a talk with you. And I actually have had a talk with people before, and I'm going to talk about that at the end of this. But the talk is pretty much clear cut. But when you're doing the talk, be sure that you're not being an asshole, because it's one thing to tell somebody, look, we can't be in each other's worlds. We can't do that right now. You are a little bit wilder than I am, or I'm wilder than you, and I feel like you may be dry. I feel like, things aren't the same. Be sure you're not being an asshole, and try to consider the other person's feeling, because look, I believe in karma. It comes back. So being mean for the sake of being mean is never my thing. So make sure that when you are doing this, that you are giving them the talk, but you're giving them the facts. Leave your emotions out of it. I really don't appreciate, or I feel uncomfortable that whenever we go out, I have to pay. Or I feel that when we're with some of the other friends, sometimes you cut me off. I feel that I'm the butt of your jokes. I feel I need time for myself, because it don't even always have to be about this person. If it's about you, that's even better, because it means that you are centering yourself and that you're focused. I need some time for myself. I'm going into a new era in my business. We can't be friends in the way that we were before. Or if you're a real shooter, we can't be friends at all. But my main intent for this is to make sure that you're not being an asshole, because like I said, it does come back, okay? The third way to do it, and this is a way that I don't recommend, is the ghosting. Be careful about this option. I'm a firm believer that what you put out comes back. So do you really want this in your life? The ghosting is just straight up not answering any text messages, not responding to any calls. Hell, if they come over, not even opening the door. This kind of person is the kind of person who, to me, I believe if you're the ghoster, you're just afraid to be the talker, which is the straight shooter. Look, we had a talk, and you're afraid to do the gradual way, But it may be what you need now before you facilitate one of these other options. But leave the ghosting to the last thing, because it's very hurtful. It is very painful, especially for a person who is looking, to find out what's going on with you. You got to understand, people do care about your ass. So if you are ghosting people and they don't know where you are, then it can give them undue emotional pain from that. So make sure that if you're picking the ghosting option, that it's because you really aren't prepared to be the one who has to talk, and or you can deal with the gradual ending of friendships. So I want to tell you one of the ways that I did. So I had a friend many years ago, and she had been out of my life for a while. I actually met her when I was in my early 20s. I may have even been in my teens. And she resurfaced, I want to say like I said 3-4 years. Like, I want to say like 5 or 6 years later. I mean, it was some years. No, because I was 30. She resurfaced about 10 or something years later. And I had grown up. I've been doing a lot of work, and I'm not trying to say it makes me better, but I've been doing a lot of work on myself. And so I wasn't the kind of person who wanted to participate in conversations about so-and-so don't like me because I'm cute, or so-and-so don't like me because they think because I dress better than them. I'm just not, I wasn't that person back then. And that was in my early 30s. I'm in my 40s now, and I definitely am not, with that kind of attitude or anything anymore. But, and I felt that she was that, and I had the talk with her. and it was very uncomfortable, but I didn't want a situation where I would leave her stranded. I wanted her to know why I had ended the friendship. That, I feel like right now, there isn't any way for us to go on as friends. I want you to know that I loved you and I even care about you now. It's just that we can't be friends anymore. She tried to leave me at the table, y'all, and try to get up and walk away. But it's fine. She dealt with things how she dealt with. I had to talk because I felt like she deserved it. So there are maybe instances in your life where that's what you do. I just want you to pick the best decision for you when you are talking about how to end a friendship. And if the person is toxic and there's no way around it, if a person is mean and every time you feel like you're around them, they drain you, those kind of reasons are definitely reasons to end a friendship. But just make sure that you've exhausted all your efforts and that you grow up. Because in order to be a good friend, in order to have a good friend, rather, you have to be a good friend. So I will see you guys later. Bye.